today about the reacting to old heads are actually stupid. Now, what does he mean by that? It got something to do with hip hop, so we gonna find out indeed. Yes, sir. Why could old heads be stupid? Maybe because they stuck in their sound with like Tupac and Biggie and whatnot. They're just stuck in their ways. I wouldn't call them stupid. You know what I'm saying? But let's see.
All right, so the other day I thought
Eat
about
my
like
seeds,
that
by the way.
interview with Uzi and Ebro, where Ebro basically had told Uzi that, well, more so he heavily insinuated that he wasn't going to last in the game and how he wasn't a rock star and all this, and it got me thinking about how
Hmm?
a lot of artists, a lot of the artists that were a part of that
What you said, sweetness? Oh my
wasn't
goodness.
going to last in the game and how he wasn't a rock star and all this.
Uzi?
It got me.
Uzi is a rock star. I feel like Young Boy a rock star. Uzi a rock star. There's a lot of artists that are rock star. They might not be your ideal image of a rock star that do blow and that play the guitar or whatnot and that whip their hair, all that extra stuff. But they're a certain type of rock star. They make their own lane. Indeed.
Thinking about how a lot of artists, a lot of the artists that were a part of that mumble era are still around today, or they're not. But most of the artists that were like a part of that whole wave, that had all the old heads, quote unquote, and a bit of a ditzy back then, are still around. Unless they're dead. That includes Ebro. Now, here's the thing about this.
Didn't dude get
right?
fired? What did he get fired for? I feel like he got fired for something with Drake. I know I remember this interview specifically because he said Uzi not gonna be nowhere. Like he said he gonna make a couple songs and stay right there. Like he not gonna be as big as he thought he was. Hey, prove that man wrong.
Back when I first watched this interview, which was like when it came out, so Uzi was with the green hair. I want to say this was like 2016. I did not understand the cultural significance of Ebro and Hot 97 overall. Now, whether that's because I wasn't from New York or I was just a kid that just liked music in the modern era where streaming was becoming more popular and the radio was showing signs that it was dissipating, is neither here or there. But later down the road, after doing some research, I understood. Hot 97 at a point was like a massive gatekeeper for hip hop. I get it. So, a quick little history lesson or whatever is that this was in the era of hip hop where, like, sure, it was booming in the streets and clubs, but the radio was still a bit like hesitant to actually embrace it fully. But then Hot 97 was like, okay, you know what? We'll do that. Biggie, Jay-Z, 50 Cent, Nas, Hot 97 was putting them on, so to speak, Funkmaster
Stop.
Flex, like, I get it.
Stop.
And that kind of gave me a bit more of an understanding as to why a nigga like Ebro felt like he could talk to Uzi any kind of way. Almost with a condescending tone, right?
That's because he's stuck in his ways. He think that sound not supposed to evolve the way it did. Honestly, bro, I don't really like music from back in the day. All the hippity hop, the hippity hop, to the yippee, all that extra stuff. I don't really. That's just the honest opinion of mine. Of course, there were some great artists that came out of that era. There were some great songs that came out of that era. But the all in all sound of the hip hop sound, I didn't really like it. I can't really get
Y'all
groovy to
remember.
it.
And that's cool and all, I guess. But even with that, this was 2016. A year with hindsight massively changed the hip hop industry for a long list of different reasons.
For sure.
And Uzi was definitely.
Yeah. What y'all know about Prime Ray Sherman? What Prime Ray Sherman? Prime Uzi. X never really got out of his prime because he died young. He died on the come up. Come on, bro. Then when Savage first came out, yeah, Savage, why you chopping so hard? Why these niggas capping so hard? Come on, bro. This was a time to be alive indeed, bro. I don't care what y'all talking about.
It's gonna be a lot of young guys coming up here and they ain't gonna want to rap on that. I'm trying to tell you, it's changing.
Yo, look.
It's changing.
I hope they change.
It's changing, bro.
I hope they change. I hope they change. But as I've seen with all you little young motherfuckers that think you nice.
Yeah,
He is pretty nice.
You nice.
yeah, I'm good.
Y'all get to like 27.
Yeah, you nice. Shut the fuck up, nigga. Like, when someone that's like clearly better than you with something is trying to teach you something and you get that high elo stare from them, like, you feel like they're just disappointed that you don't understand something. That's the vibe I got from that interview. But the craziest part is that Uzi, along with several other artists, ended up showing this nigga and many other of the quote-unquote older generation that sometimes change is necessary.
For sure. Hey, y'all, let me get monetized when I get I'm gonna get an ad blocker when I get monetized, bro. Don't worry about it.
So
Just
first,
stay until he come up. But no, think about how life would be with no evolution. We'll still be living in caves, um, relying on fire for light, having to go hunt down primal food. You know what I'm saying? Everything evolves for the best. Just don't forget that.
let me get this out the way, right? The term mumble rapper was always so corny to me for a multitude of
Then
reasons.
Designer
Because
with his two songs, Timmy Turner and Panda, with Lil Boat the mixtape when that dropped, that's still one of my favorite albums or projects of his, whatever you want to call it. Lil Boat the mixtape. He was on that red boat. Yes, yes. Come on, bro.
First of all, these old niggas were basically saying, "Oh, they're not even speaking English." Like, don't get me wrong, I love Hobson. I'll always have a soft spot for that nigga. But go watch that No Words video that he dropped in like 2015, where he was basically
Oh my goodness. Look, go look at it. Leave her alone. She good. Oh my goodness. She talking about the cat.
Migos. But what he and a lot of other lyrically driven rap listeners fail to understand
Amore, watch your show. Let the cat stay right there.
that these artists at the time were focusing way more on the melody of the song rather than telling
Who is
us
this
the
guy right here though? I wish I could tell you. I don't know who that is, bro. Oh my God.
story. You know what I mean? Like with jazz and rock, it's way more about the sound design of the song. And I think because hip hop had been around for such a long time, a lot of artists that were coming up in that era were leaning towards that. Something that rap fans at the time were inherently not used to. At least to the extent of Uzi making beautiful ass songs like With My Crew. If you've never heard that song, first of all, I'm jealous as hell, but it's a very perfect example of where hip hop was heading because Love Is Rage came out on Halloween in 2015, if I'm not mistaken.
Banger. Banger. Come on, bro.
Or
What are we talking about
October
here?
30th. One of those days. But lyricism and all this wordplay stuff was dominating hip hop for a very long time. And when the new generation at the time was like, yeah, we're not doing that, you know, it kind of felt like sacrilege. Like, y'all are disrespecting hip hop culture, yada yada. But it wasn't that hip hop or rap or whatever was being disrespected. It was simply just shifting priorities.
If you want to blame anybody, blame Kanye. Blame Future. Blame Drake. But more so Kanye and Future. Yes, Kanye and Future for sure.
You gotta remember, right? This era was like 2014 onwards, right? So with the rise of streaming platforms like Apple Music and SoundCloud and Spotify, nobody was really checking for like hard-hitting lyrics, at least not the youth. You know, like we all, yes, we, me and you, wanted replayable music. So it's only so much lyrical, schmirical, Eminem and Nas I could take before I just started getting annoyed.
Yeah, bro. They think that people just talking fast on the beat. Headshot. That's hard to them. Unfortunately, that's not hard to me, bro. If I gotta give effort to listen to this, bro, I don't want to listen to it. I want to vibe, bro.
I know y'all think I'm old as hell, probably because I say it all the fucking time. But when I was like on the bus on the way to school, I just wanted a song that I could vibe with. That is the era I grew up in. Like, I was not trying to hear no bars at like 7 a.m., bro. On my way to eat one of them nasty ass school pizzas in the morning, bro. I know y'all know what I'm talking
Hell
about,
yeah.
bro. Them shits were poison.
Damn, so they got them all throughout the United States. I thought that was only here. My
The kids, you know, around that time felt the same way. And that's why niggas like Uzi was going up because he genuinely made great music along with Migos and Cardi. You know what I'm saying? Like, the numbers told more of a story than these old niggas did. I'm just keeping it a buck, man. I didn't give a
Uzi and Cardi was such a dynamic duo. They could have been even greater if they stayed together, bro. But it's like, I don't know what happened. I guess they grew apart. That's fine because they're both thriving in their careers, indeed. But man, what if they never fell off? What if?
about what a nigga named Ebro had to say about Uzi in 2016. You'll say you're a rock star when we say you are. Shut the fuck up, man. That's why his weak ass show got canceled years later, and here most of us are still rocking with Uzi. But I'll come back to that later. Actually, no, fuck that, because I don't like this nigga. I'm not gonna lie. In the past, people like Ebro and other critics and veteran artists, whatever, had really substantial influence over public perception when it came to rap music. That's fine. Undeniable, even. But that time was coming to an end, and it was clear as day. Ebro's dumbass could not see it coming. And you could tell from the way he treated Uzi in that interview as if he was like the stepfather.
He acted like he was gonna be a one-night wonder, one-hit wonder. You know what I'm saying? That is not the case, buddy. He is making hits to this day. I don't know what to say, cause she fart. She a fart. Whatever, however that song go, people like it.
Like me, but you will respect me. That type vibe. And Uzi seemed to catch on pretty quickly that he was damn near trying to sun him because my fans won't be disappointed, yours will. That should have told Ebro all he needed to know because at this point, in 2016, rappers were able to develop their own relationship with their own audience. Instagram, Tumblr, Twitter. These social media platforms took power away from niggas that felt like they had the game on lock. We didn't need no goddamn approval from Ebro or Two Dope Boys or Complex. Really anything that was hip-hop media that acted like a purist for the culture. We didn't care anymore. Think about how cult-like Cardi and X's fan bases were before these niggas even did interviews for rap media.
Right.
I speak to my fans. I help my fans. I try and be in depth,
Your shit is weird because you have a
Go.
crazy ass following on social media and stuff, and like it's not like necessarily the craziest like numbers, like 10,000 or whatever. Or how many are you on SoundCloud?
SoundCloud, I'm at 18.5.
But like the numbers are retarded because it's like you really seem like, and just the number of people who have asked me to interview you is fucking insane. Like
at the time, hip hop fans like myself, honestly, started to value what was genuinely authentic over, oh cool, you can spit a hard 16 bars. Like I guess I give a fuck, bro. Most of y'all should remember when Yachty went on Everyday Struggle and got chewed out by Joe Budden because Yachty said he was just having fun with his music. But the ironic part about that interview is that it went viral. Joe even made a very self-aware comment in the middle of his rant when this happened.
I play that song for these old head niggas like Joe, and he's looking at it and he's analyzing it from a perspective that
Academics look skinny right here. Is this old? You look kind of skinny. Yep, this is old on that Complex show that they was on.
You just sat there and told a bold-faced fucking lie. Y'all have the old niggas fucked up. We like all this fun shit. I don't want to hear me in the fucking club. We don't like what he represents.
Yeah, bro. If you go in a club and they playing Eminem, bro, let me out that month, bro. Just let me out. If they playing, I'm just gonna keep it at Eminem, bro. I ain't trying to get too disrespectful, but let me out, bro.
Truth be told,
I'm in the wrong
one
party.
of the big things which I've told him is that he gets the same like negative energy from the old heads as Uzi, as other people that kind of do what they do. He's the only nigga who responds.
The old head stigma was very apparent, and the funny part is that all this criticism from them actually pushed mumble rappers. I cannot believe we were really using that term. That's crazy to me, but it really pushed these rappers into the spotlight even more. Uzi and Thug and X. Those are the names that came to mind when I thought about this. Like, they had those very emotional songs that I think really resonated with the youth as well. And
Nigga, Love is Rage 3, Love is Rage 2.5, I believe. Is it a 3? No, I think it's Love is Rage 2.5. Love is Rage. I think it is a 3. Because I had like a couple songs in there. All of them bangers. Come on, bro.
Further showed that this shit was happening in hip-hop at that time because it was obviously about who could rap the best, but that shit was...
Hold on. Let them get to playing Snoop Dogg in the club, bro. I'm suing the owner, bro. The fuck out of here.
Would be boring and fast. Now, I want to circle back to Ebro one more time because I don't think he's inherently a bad guy. I just think a lot of his actions are really stupid. And I think that if he was a bit smarter, he might have seen the cancellation of his show coming years before it even happened. Now, I get it that he's a New York nigga, so he's kind of just bound to be a dickhead, but I don't know if y'all can tell or not, but on this channel, the one thing I seriously don't like in human beings, whether it's the industry or really anywhere, is ego. And Ebro had an ego. Ebro represented an older, traditional perspective on hip-hop, right? And I get it, because the dude is old. But what I didn't appreciate from him, literally ever, was how closed-minded he could be towards the new generation of artists. And I mean, if I sat here and compiled every time that he tried to just sweep someone new under the rug that's actually dominating the rap game right now, the compilation would be at least 20 minutes long. Now, to be skeptical of a newer act or really anything in this industry is not that bad to do. But this nigga did it every fucking time.
That's his thing. His thing is to hate on the young niggas. It's always that one old nigga that hate a young. Like, that's just... They always hate it. It's always been like that for me, but that's just who Ebro is. He's that one old nigga that be sacking you. It's always hating. Always got something to say. She was talking to my rent. Because you click the ad, baby. Stop clicking ads. Hold on. Here you go. All right, back to it.
Interviewing never made sense to me. Like, oh
Stop
yeah, we got a
clicking
new
it
guy up
more.
here coming out with the album pretty soon, and that's cool or whatever. But tell me what it is you appreciate about hip hop. God damn, dude, Uzi was like 21. That's a grown ass adult. But right now, I don't even remember what I was doing at 21. I do know I was a whole different person with a less developed mindset.
Hey man, I was 21 last year. Yeah, I don't remember though.
Saying I was a dumbass, but I just wasn't as wise as I am right now. And all I can say is that even at 21, Uzi knew his standpoint in rap. And Ebro, whatever the fuck age he was in this, couldn't even open his mind up enough to see that a change was happening right in front of him. In fact, he was just challenging it even.
He's stuck
And
in
a lot
his
of these
ways. You
older
can't teach an old dog new tricks. Stuck in his ways.
guys did that, and it made them look stupid in the end because A, some of these guys took it as disrespect. There's a whole compilation on YouTube of rappers calling him out to his face for the bullshit he be pulling. And B, right? The radio was in the midst of like basically dying. I mean, I made a whole video about that, right? So
My thing is, why am I listening to them? When the radio play the same songs over and over and over again. 2, they play 3 songs and they play an ad for like 5 minutes. So my whole drive is just listening to ads. Nobody want to listen to that, bro. No,
these guys
no.
still
Go
thought,
play the
and
toy.
still to
Go
this
play.
day think that radio ratings actually mattered. When whole time they didn't matter anymore.
I'm right here, y'all.
Nobody like gets in the car and cuts on the radio. I mean, if you do at this current moment, it's probably gonna stay that way. But if you also do, you're probably like 40 something. I mean, I'm gonna just keep it a buck, bro. Nobody like under the age of 25 is cutting on the radio. Like, and if you do, of course, my fault. But the point is, these older guys like thought that, oh, the radio will be around. iHeartRadio just did a deal with Netflix, right? Because they understand fully that the real money is in streaming. These radio stations are fully aware of that. That is why their show was canceled. Because if you go look at like what like type of ratings they did, nobody
Hold
gives
on.
a fuck about.
Stop. Now. What are you doing?
Ebro in this bald Rosenberg. Nobody cares about this shit anymore. Genuinely, like anybody could do their job. That's kind of the main point. And they just were not able to catch on. That's why they lost their fucking job and why they're doing what they're doing now, because they just are hard-headed, honestly. And listen, I'm not sitting here saying the old heads were wrong for valuing lyricism. What I'm saying is that in the end, as much shitting on the newer generation as they did, hip-hop literally transformed in front of everyone's eyes, and now it's
Slowly but
transforming.
surely, indeed. Slowly but surely.
There are kids coming up right now that are heavily influenced by the people that I watch blow up. It's actually kind of crazy. But the newer generation, or the mumble rappers that didn't die, well, they're still around today and successful simply because the world was changing, not just the hip-hop industry. Like, everything was changing and just becoming more, like, fast, I guess? I don't know. But I guess fast is, like, how I would explain today's rap industry. Literally, it fits in very well. And I was gonna end this video, but then I ended up seeing this one clip, bro. Please look at this.
He's still around, and I'm still. I lost a job, and he got more money, and he's still here, and all the things.
The Diaries of a Bitter Old Nigga. He talking about Uzi, by the way.
I ask you, while his hit song is going around right now, are you guys highly anticipating the Uzi Vert album?
Personally, no. For the most part, Uzi Vert doesn't miss on projects.
Eternal Take 3?
Mind you, there is no Eternal Take 3. This nigga is a fucking bot, chat.
Hold on, bro. Hold on, dog. I'm sick. My stomach hurt. All type of shit. Nigga said Eternal Take 3? You ain't never heard that? I ain't never heard that neither, my boy. You tripping.
There's no Eternal Take 3.
This
I mean,
nigga's
okay,
hilarious.
one out of how many? 5 or 6?
But out of how many? 5 or 6? What are we talking about? Nobody.
Yeah, bro. Get these niggas in a retirement home, bro. They talking about 5 or 6 Eternal Takes. Bro, what are they talking about? How are they even having this conversation and they're not educated on the topic? They just talking, bro. Fuck out of here, bro.
In this room knows what they're talking about. I just want y'all to pay attention. Nobody knows what they're talking about.
He missed on that, right?
Yeah, but I said hardly.
Okay, all right.
I
My
said
fault.
hardly.
Now I don't know about y'all, but it
Niggas went
seems
from
like,
3
bro,
to 5. What are they talking about?
on the same shit. And that's the thing with the older generation, bro. They are so unbelievably hard-headed and stuck in their own ways that even when there is irrefutable proof that they're wrong, it still won't matter. And that's Ebro. I'm sorry. Even watching that podcast with Nadeska and the other dude, I don't even know his name, they literally do not know what they're actually talking about. Like, you can tell they were only talking about a certain topic because they just felt like they had to. And I feel like that's just really inauthentic. And that's why most of the
This
youth
nigga
doesn't
shirt say, you
felt
can
like
tell
they
how
had
old these
to.
niggas is. This nigga shirt say DAP. Okay.
feel like that's just really inauthentic, and that's why most of the youth doesn't pay attention to shit like this. But I don't know. I feel the rent coming on, so I'm just.
You know, these niggas sitting here talking about Eternal Take 5 and 3. He not about to make no damn Eternal Take 3. Come on, bro. Anyways, bro, let me know what y'all think down in the comments below. Honestly, bro, it's a tell that's all this time. Old niggas hating on the young niggas instead of putting them on game and trying to be player. Not all the old people like that. Not all unks is like that. But it's a specific type, and he is that specific type, the Ebro nigga. But let me know what y'all think, and I'm gonna catch you niggas in the next one. Yes, sir.